Hello and welcome to part 1 of a 3-part series on where I go from grayscale to color. I've gotten a lot of questions on my process and how I do this, so I made these 3 videos to better explain my process. In short, this video goes from this image, once we add gradient maps, to this. The next video covers drawing hair, which will look like this, and ultimately the last video will be final effects and color to end up with this image here. So I hope you stick with me in these 3 videos so that you can learn something new and possibly implement this into your drawing. So without further ado, let's begin. So you see here, I currently just have essentially 3 different layers. Goku is the main layer, followed by hair, and then the hair in the back. So let's begin by gradient maps. So you just select the layer, create an outline of it, and come down here, click that, and then right here it says gradient map. As you can see, the gradient map is created and the mask that it makes is what was selected. You can also, if you didn't want to use down here, make a quick selection, go to image up here, then you go to adjustments, go down to gradient map. It does the exact same thing. Once you're in the gradient maps, you essentially just double click it, and you see here that it's black and white with the grays in between. So the purpose of gradient maps is essentially to transform all the grays, the whites, and the blacks to whatever color you want. And you isolate where the color goes based on the mask you create, as you can see here. What is white here is shows, what is black is excluded. So a quick example of how gradient maps are used, you see here, I have already previously saved different gradient maps that I used in the past. And it's a good thing to save them so you don't have to keep making them. It kind of makes it more efficient. Some of these on top were the defaults that I've yet to just get rid of. So an example of a gradient map. So you can see here, click this one, and automatically Goku changes to all the white colors are now light green, medium green, darker, etc. So it goes from light to dark. Click a different one that was there, go from light purple to dark purple. So this is the purpose and essentially the power of gradient maps is you can change colors on the fly. You just have to specify where the color is and to what intensity based on the colors you pick. So rather quickly you can see Goku is transforming to a whole lot of different colors. And that's essentially what gradient maps do. So obviously this doesn't help you, this just basically explains what gradient maps do. So let's go back to the very beginning. So now let's make Goku's skin tone. So to understand it, you basically just have to, here from white, we want to change white to a different color. So obviously he's going to be powering up. So we'll just do a really light color to start it off. Then here in the middle, let's create middle tone. Then here the dark. You never use black because it's, in essence every color is just has a darker shade. So you rarely ever use black. So here essentially a really dark brown. So here are the 3 colors. You can keep it basic or you can just keep modifying it and adding onto it. Move that color, and obviously you want it a little bit darker, so you make the brown a little darker. Want to add a little bit more red, so you low down the slider. Once again, options, selecting that color swatch. Let's make this a little bit darker. Move this across. Let's lighten it up a little bit. Create another one. You don't have to add as many as I am here. It all depends on how much color you want to transition and how much you want to control it. So then you select here, it's already selected. We make it black. Make your brush stroke regular. Hardness, I never use 100%. Begin to mask out what you don't want colored in that particular color. You just try to get close to the edge. It doesn't have to be completely perfect. And if you make it white, it adds to the color. Black removes it because you're working with a mask. And use the masking tool to remove color from his eyes. You could just select a portion. Like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect because you're going to be modifying the mask anyway. Then once again, same process, go down, gradient map. And here you want to change the colors. So obviously we're going to have a light blue. So we just pick a light blue for the lightest. Click again, the same color that was done is repeated. Pick a darker blue. Like I said at the very end, you never do pitch black. So it's gonna be a really dark blue though for the darkest tones. Let's lighten it up a little bit here. Hit OK. And now we can just select Goku. So the mask doesn't go outside of his body. And just begin to color in. Like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect at this. You can go over like this. As you can see here, it's on his skin. It's fine. Because when you work in a mask, you can just go down to the previous mask, hit Command, and select the actual image here. And now it selects the skin. So while you're still in the blue gi part here, make sure the color is black by hitting X, which flips the colors. Go to B, which brings up the brushes, and there you go. And the key goes over here as well, which I missed. So we can select Goku again. Make sure we're still on that, which we are. Make sure the brush is white. And just color it in. Repeat that on this side. Select. Color it in. You can make multiple selections while holding the shift key. So now these two are selected. Once again, go down here, gradient maps. We're changing from the whites to the dark colors. So let's pick a yellow, start it off. The main color here will be an orange. And you click the black, which like I said, will never be black. Red right here. Now we're just gonna fill it in. So click the middle orange, click it again so it repeats that color. Any darker, make it darker again, and start filling in his orange gi. So you go to the magic wand tool, select his eyes, hold shift, and just create a new layer. Go to the brushes and just pick a nice teal because his eyes are always pretty simple, and then just color them in. And to remember is then make a little bit darker. Make sure you pick soft round pressure opacity. and just slightly add a little bit of darkness at the top part. And this brings us to the end of part 1 of gradient maps. Hopefully you learned something new on how to implement this into your drawing. Now on to video 2, which is about digitally drawing hair, tips and tricks, and how I do it. And see you in the next video.